Think about that. Late 90s. Not only that, Japan's first World Championships women's singles medal since 1969. A lot has changed in the world of table tennis and in the world period since then, and of course there are certain familiarities. But the familiarities that we see here between these two players, again, it's going to be really up to CHENG I-Ching for me to turn things around. She's been playing well, but Miu Hirano has been working very hard to be at the top of her game. CHENG I-Ching has had a little dip in the world ranking. 25 years old, a good age for table tennis players. Many women peak between 26 and 28 years old, and then there are others that are still playing very well. Ni Xiaolian at 54 years old is really an anomaly. Matilda Ekholm at 36 years old, maybe playing the best table tennis of her life. But in the European system versus different competitive Asian countries, there's a lot more pressure for CHENG I-Ching. So we'll see. And see, she's got the fancy knee tape there, helping her out with the pressure. There's been some strain, but her teammate Chun Su-Yu had a much more difficult injury to play through. The most impressive match for me in this tournament. So we will see here. It's been a tough road for both of these two, but they've made it to the last chance to get a medal. There are no guarantees. Only one will leave with some hardware today. The question is, who's it going to be? It's a best-of-7 match. And as Miu Hirano, the Hurricane, twists and turns, clearing the table, it'll be CHENG I-Ching at the bottom of the screen to start off the match with the serve.
Let 0-all.
Even in that let receive, you can see the control Miu Hirano has, keeping it so short.
Let 0-all.
Quality start for CHENG I-Ching. I think this is the players feeling each other out a little bit, getting a sense of each other's weaponry. They did check each other's equipment before the match started to make sure they were familiar with the opponent's playing surface. Oh, beautiful shot. Catches the edge a little bit, but still, this is a very wide shot from the middle of the table. Miu Hirano also cleaning the floor, making sure everything is proper. She's going to have the grip she needs, the traction for quick lateral movement. In and out as well, of course. Excellent counter. This is a loaded shot from below the table. Miu Hirano just ripping this ball. So much spin. And it's cross court, but watch CHENG I-Ching rack it up. Still keeps it nice and closed for that stroke. Counter for the winner. Now, these are the exchanges that tend to favor Miu Hirano, the backhand to backhand. CHENG I-Ching's been quite strong. The Miu Hirano is a very wristy shot right near the table. You know, we've seen a lot of improvement from some of the best women in the world, including Li Ho-Ching, including CHENG I-Ching. But Miu Hirano, one of the fastest rising stars in the last year of table tennis. You know what? I'm going to correct that. The fastest rising star. Not one of, she is the. She's the reason that China went back to the drawing board and prepared all their players to make sure that the Asian Championships would not happen again. She would not defeat 75% of China's strongest women. Well-placed serve right at the baseline in the middle, the crossover point, and a late reaction from Hirano. Completely understandable with a well-executed serve to tie it up. First towel break of the game, for those of you a little bit newer to table tennis. Every 6 points that are played, players are allowed to go to the towel, dry off.
Let.
Miu Hirano did the right thing there, though. You play the point until you know that the umpire has called the let. That's why you see the players with the hand up, still keeping the ball in play and rallying sometimes. That typically happens when both players are aware of the let, but they're waiting for the umpire to call it out. This is going to be tough. Cheng I-Ching anticipates the deep backhand, but is stretched wide out to the forehand. Solid pattern here from Hirano. And she doesn't tell where she's going, doesn't telegraph at all, makes it difficult for Cheng I-Ching to read that follow-up attack wide to the forehand.
3-5.
Now this is the art of serving. If you have two serves or any variety, two or more serves that look the same in their delivery, it makes it very difficult for the opponent to read. Cheng I-Ching dropping that one into the net. Looked like the same kick shovel serve, top side spin.
4-5.
This backhand here that Cheng I-Ching uses was used effectively earlier today against Zhu Yuling. It got her several points where she added a little bit of side spin to break the rhythm, put a little kick on the ball. Oh man, Cheng I-Ching explodes through that ball. It looks like for sure it will win the point. And who's waiting there? Miu Hirano to bring it right back down the line. This will be a great one to see here. This is the Cheng I-Ching side. To hit it that hard, and it's gone. Right back to where it came from, other side of the table. Finally a shot to finish it, the crowd loving this. Cheng I-Ching steps around and takes it down the line. This is what's I'd say one of the best things about watching world-class table tennis. A player who's so strong against somebody else who can keep the ball in play and keep the pressure up, forcing the rally to continue. Players raising each other's level.
5-7.
That heavy long push. Good variety in the depth of the pushes and the rotation, I would say. You'll have a chance to see Liu Shiwen's pushes later on today. Tonight, I guess I should say, in the final match of the tournament. Her pushes have been giving everybody a lot of trouble. Right off the bounce in the receive game. Well-placed serve. Side and top spin, a little kick on the second bounce. A good length though. Hirano tempted to take it down the line. Still, not as easy as it looks from that camera angle, that's for sure. Loaded underspin on the pendulum, and it's tied up. Cheng I-Ching delivering the service. Two quick services for two quick points. Not flashy, simply well disguised. Sometimes subtlety pays off. Miss hit off the top edge of the racket. This was a good setup, I felt, for Cheng I-Ching. Starts soft, gets the middle to middle, turns for a clean forehand. Just wasn't able to connect. Same thing right back. Now, I wouldn't say that Cheng I-Ching misunderstood that point, but it did go over her head. Watch this. Sorry for that. Wow, duck and cover. Slow-mo, the crowd loves it. Everybody get down. Tied up at 8 points each. Strong receive, and now with two serves on her racket. I think taking the first game will be very important for Cheng I-Ching especially. Oh, break off the net and the edge of the table.
8-9.
Double happiness is what we call it. Bella Livshin, previous coach of mine, call it that when you get the net and the edge of the table. Wow, what a break for Miu Hirano.
8-9.
Double happiness, also the sponsor for the table and the balls that are being used, the D40 Plus, the new and improved ball. Had a chance to play with its quite solid, good ball. Big point here to tie it up. Last 2 points, or the last two serves anyway, in combination that a player will have. Will be happening now, coming up. just by a fraction, centimeter to miss. So at the third towel break of the game, 9 points each. Miu Hirano with the advantage of serve. And oh, what a serve she has. No, again off the top of the net. For CHENG I-Ching to have such soft hands and such precision in the receive to keep the ball short. And then one more time here. Miu Hirano very aggressively, you could see that flat trajectory. She's trying to reach out and punch through the ball. Game point for the Hurricane. Oh, short side of the table, but the table's just too short. 11-9, Miu Hirano keeping up her streak against CHENG I-Ching. She takes game one 11-9 by the narrowest of margins. And there's Jia Qi-Jiang, former national U.S. champion, a penhold player who's been quite close working with CHENG I-Ching down in Kaohsiung, Taiwan. So in terms of tactics, we will see what happens in game two. Enjoy some highlights, and we'll be back for game two in just a moment.
One for Japan. The Chinese Taipei get back in the game. We go into game two in just a short bit. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. You've been an awesome audience. Thanks for being here with us on this lovely Sunday evening as we go into the finals of the Uncle Pop 2017 Women's World Cup. I need to remind each and every one of you, ladies and gentlemen, please do not use any flash photography during the playing of the games. No flash photography on your phones or your cameras. Thank you.
大家注意一下，不要使用闪光灯和聚光灯，然后来保证运动员的正常比赛。谢谢。闪光灯和聚焦灯不要使用，谢谢大家。
And as the players come back for game two, the announcement was made in Mandarin as well. No flash photography here. It's a beautiful arena, and this is one of the best, I'd say, most visually stimulating and engaging venues in 2017 on the World Tour. So a flash can go a long way to distract a player. I think it's very wise of the tournament organizers to make sure that it's said in Mandarin here. Big Chinese community supporting their favorite players. Ooh.
1-0.
This is one of the dangers. If you play softly and the ball sits up just a little bit high, someone as fast and aggressive as Miu Hirano was just hungry for the opportunity. She's looking for it. Look how low this one is. Even that follow-up from this camera angle, you could see was barely above net height, but she hit a clear winner with the backhand. This is the making of a great threat. We will see how Miu Hirano continues to rise. The angle once again from wide on the forehand side, keeping it quite unpredictable. Watch how this exits the table. When you hit the ball that wide to the forehand and it's low, the opportunity to have it played to the backhand side, very, very slim chances here. So CHENG I-Ching is going to have to anticipate a little bit, cover the angles.
Left. 0-2.
Of course, she knows this. This is pretty much the basics of table tennis. We're looking at some of the world's best players.
1-2.
Not the first time we've seen CHENG I-Ching get outright service points. Now, between the two players, if you had asked me coming into the match, I would say Miu Hirano's serve would win more points for her. CHENG I-Ching, it's not what she's known for, but make note of it. She's winning points with these serves. Once again, how many two-serve combinations has she brought out that haven't even come back? One of the key ingredients for me, CHENG I-Ching barely follows through on the serve, much like Ma Long. It leaves very little clue, and as you can see, the length at the table, that ball's not going to come off the back edge. If it does, not by a lot. Wow, that's a clean, fast backhand. It's quite interesting to see Miu Hirano. I know most of the table tennis world is excited to see her rise again, continue to pull off the performance that she did at the Asian Championships in 2017 to bring challenge to the top Chinese players. Top edge of the table here for CHENG I-Ching to tie it up. Again, I feel like the luck Cheng I-Ching still has a few favors left in the bag. Just faint like the early one we saw from Miu Hirano. Similar stroke from the backhand. That's how much on the line it has to be. So back from the first towel break, Miu Hirano trying to stay loose at the core. A lot of waist twisting. Ooh, a red light right there in the shot. Ah. And finally a shot that misses. Look at this, both players way behind the table. Just explosive counter loops up on one foot and in the air. The element of surprise here jams Cheng I-Ching, but still she keeps it on the table. And again, that jumping backhand, just catching the top edge of the racket. These are the points that the crowd goes crazy for. The types of points that you can't see without the world's best here live. And a quick one to follow up a forehand flip. Short or long, it's all worth 1 point. Point on a serve or a 10 counter loop rally, they're all worth the same. Two forehand flips in a row, the short game. Now this is a key ingredient with a player who can be so suffocating like Miu Hirano. Very smooth and powerful, but also quick in the receive game. Deceptive serves, I mean, that's a pretty complete game right there. But if Cheng I-Ching gets in the receive game like that, she'll have a much better chance. She'll be much more effective, not allowing Hirano to dominate or control the points. Well anticipated, but doesn't leave early. Cheng I-Ching ready for a long serve. As soon as it's contacted, turns, steps around the corner. That reaction time in slow motion looked like real human speed. Tough to even imagine what it was like when it happened in real time. A little bit again off the top of the net for Miu Hirano, and the follow-up backhand. Flexibility in that wrist to change up the direction at the last moment. The element of surprise. So tough to fool a player with the reaction time that these players have, not to mention the amount of experience they have, how many shots they've seen. Well anticipated again, covered on the backhand side. Cheng I-Ching gets there for the parallel forehand from Miu Hirano. Maintains the lead and extends it back to 2 points. And the crowd behind Cheng I-Ching. A lot of gyos here for the Mandarin speaker. Had a chance to talk to both of these players between the break. Cheng I-Ching took a good nap in the practice hall, napping with a jacket over her face, listening to some inspirational words from a cell phone. Now a lot of the nets are not coming down from Miu Hirano. Her low trajectory was effective in the first game, but it's been costing her a little bit more. I think the laser focus of Cheng I-Ching, even off the top of the net, her reactions have been very strong. Miu Hirano warned to come back to the table and play quickly. We've seen her taking her time quite a bit. Wow.
9-5.
After all that, the net ball and the recovery, I thought surely the forehand flip would go in. So from a luck standpoint, after game 2, I feel like Cheng I-Ching has got it pretty well balanced now. Little breaks off the top of the net, edges here and there. This is confidence. From this camera angle, it looks like Cheng I-Ching has the ball to flip kill for a winner, and she plays it soft once again to surprise Miu Hirano. Very smart play. Now 5 game points for Cheng I-Ching. Heavy spin does it. So she breaks the pattern. Last year in the women's singles final, the championship match, it was 4-0 for Miu Hirano. Not this time. CHENG I-Ching says, nah, not gonna happen. Tied up at 1 game apiece, and as they go to the corners to talk to their coaches, the more dominant performance was that of CHENG I-Ching. 20 points to 16 points scored so far. It's a best of 7. We'll be right back with some highlights in Game 3 coming up right after this.
Fans over there in the bleachers, the silver bleachers, I just need you guys to do me a big favor. Squeeze in a little bit, as we need to make room for some other ping table tennis fans to come and sit down. So please, if you can, move in a little bit so we can make some room and accommodate some more fans who are waiting to come in and watch the rest of the game.
因为人数比较多，请坐在3A 区域的观众稍微挤一下，大家稍微往紧挪一下哈。为了让更多的喜欢乒乓球的观众可以参与到这次的观看中，请大家稍微挪紧一下，坐紧一下，谢
And
谢
as
大家。
time is called, the players will come back for Game 3.
Thank
The
you very much for
translation,
your
a
cooperation,
capacity
ladies and gentlemen.
crowd here.
Everybody wants to
There's
see the
been
game,
standing
so
room
if you
only,
could help out,
people standing
please
near the
do.
commentators'
Thank
booth.
you.
People being asked to slide down on the benches to make room for more ticket holders. This is the type of event, that you want to make sure you catch when it's anywhere near you. Across the country, no problem. It's a short flight. See it live. 1 game apiece. CHENG I-Ching with the momentum right now and starting off Game 3 with the serve.
1-0.
Long again. Serve to the middle of the table. But the positioning of CHENG I-Ching, she's solid on the backhand, and as Miu Hirano clips her hair, she's going to be thinking about how to create these angles and when to make that move out wide. Sometimes a second shot to the middle, or even a first for that matter, is quite necessary to get your opponent opened up and off balance.
1-0.
So there it is, Miu Hirano looking for the middle of her opponent, getting a slightly weaker shot from in front of the elbow using the backhand. CHENG I-Ching. I was watching Kasumi Ishikawa in the practice hall as her coach was working with her about taking the ball on the uprise right off the bounce and body positioning near the table. Miu Hirano made an art of that for sure.
2-1.
As fast as the feet are of CHENG I-Ching, she's not going to be able to catch that one. When you're this close to the table, taking the ball on the uprise, it leaves very little time. CHENG I-Ching still coming down from that slide out wide. And similarly, Miu Hirano keeps her positioning in the backhand corner, which adds that extra pressure to CHENG I-Ching on the inside-out forehand. So many different things to consider in table tennis. But in terms of where your opponent is standing when you hit the ball, it makes a huge difference on what is required for the quality of your shot.
1-4.
Heavy push deep on the table. Not a lot of time for CHENG I-Ching to get the back into it. Starting from the legs to get that lift. What a recovery. The crowd gasping as this one comes off the net and stays in play. Solid reaction time for Miu Hirano to save it. Watch one more time. Look how shaken the net is. CHENG I-Ching just ripping through that. The punch comes in, bam. Job well done. I love the way she turns away from that ball. The dismissive, yep, it's finished. Fatality. This is some of the best footwork I've seen from CHENG I-Ching this tournament. And that says a lot considering how well she's performed to be here in the bronze medal match. Only losing to the top seed in the tournament, Ju Yuling.
Play, please.
Second warning for Miu Hirano. No yellow card has been pulled yet. No points have been taken. We will see. It's tough to know exactly how much rotation is on the ball. We have to imagine that CHENG I-Ching loaded that ball. Here's a closer look. Shovel serve, mostly side spin. And again, from this camera angle, not much higher than the net. You don't have a lot of distance when you're playing that wide of an angle. Flash again in the background.
4-5.
Oh, beautiful placement.
Five
Gets
ball.
up in the air. Waits to see where Miu Hirano goes, and as soon as Hirano starts to move toward the forehand side, the ball's hit behind her. Racket heads straight up.
5-all.
Standing innovation there from CHENG I-Ching. Maybe I should say improvisation, quick decision making. It's not like the shot's never been done before. Looked like a lot of rotation, but overcompensating, keeping the racket very close. CHENG I-Ching right down into the net. So close to being incredible. Miu Hirano dictating here, running CHENG I-Ching all around. And they both have quite smooth and fast footwork. But the angles here Miu Hirano's creating opens up and invites the counter at an even wider angle, but it's a lot of pressure. Again, the crowd supporting CHENG I-Ching, representing Chinese Taipei out here. Back edge of the table, a little bit of fortune. I've seen more neck rolls from Miu Hirano. In terms of body language, it's always interesting to see how players react and how it changes on the World Tour. Now I will say, while the majority of the fans here are Chinese speakers in the crowd, thank you for that timing. CHENG I-Ching Jayo. We hear a Gambare, the Japanese fans. We've seen a Japanese flag, or two actually, flying in the crowd here. Beautiful speed again. The backhand's off the backhand corner. CHENG I-Ching scratching the head, staying cool. But watch her in this point. Short step, rebalances quickly, and doesn't freak out and move back to the middle of the table. That's what can cost you the point. Miu Hirano will play it right back to where you came from. Pressure again right off the bounce. CHENG I-Ching is focusing so hard to take the ball early. We've got a timeout on the side of Miu Hirano. She'll be with Coach Nakazawa over in the corner. Again, Coach Nakazawa has worked with Miu Hirano the last 2 years on the Performance Academy team, the school team. If I understood him correctly, that is. So a lot of experience here in the corner. Miu Hirano getting the notebook. Nope. Maybe some tissues. We've seen a lot of different things. Looks like just by the head there, a drink, maybe a sports drink. Sometimes we'll see the Japanese women with ice on the back of the neck or even on the top of the head. Good friend of mine and table tennis expert said sometimes when the body is super hot and the blood is flowing, keeping the head cool is so important. It is the decision-making center, after all. The control center is the brain. So, we'll see, again, Kasumi Ishikawa, Mima Ito, Ai Fukuhara, who I believe has recently started a family, keeping that ice on the back of the neck. We will see, again, Japan, the fastest rising nation in table tennis. They've been strong, but I'd say in the last year and a half of table tennis, All sorts of young women have come out of the
7-9.
woodworks to show up in the world rankings, the top 30. Japan really populating that top 30 of the world ranking list. So CHENG I-Ching back on a streak here. The long serve pays off right at the baseline, middle of the table. Miu Hirano trying to stay positive here to stop the comeback. And while the ball comes up a little bit high, that's okay here because it's traveling to the very baseline of the table, so it pays off. Oh, excellent placement here. Miu Hirano shuts down the point that would have tied it up with the flip right into the body on the backhand side. Looks like she's going to go cross court and then holds up just a second with the racket head up straight. Fools CHENG I-Ching. Not completely, but enough to get a weaker shot and a shot that goes out. Can understand the feelings here, the emotions from CHENG I-Ching. 2 game points for the Hurricane. This time she hangs in there. Hirano finds the middle, but CHENG I-Ching patiently turns, gets the elbow in just a little bit to play a shorter stroke near the body. This one right here, that was the compact stroke, turns for the backhand. Saves 1 game point, 1 more to go. So interesting, the difference in the feet of the players feels a bit panicky from CHENG I-Ching, but she's won the majority of the last 5 points. Oh, the spin shot, and Hirano's out of there. Wins the point, a cho, and off to the towel box. She's going to get maximum time with the coach in this 1 minute between the games. Jachi prepared with the 2 different drinks, the water and maybe something, a little bit of energy in it as well for CHENG I-Ching. It's a 2-1 lead for the Hurricane of Japan. Miu Hirano, defending champion in the bronze medal match. And CHENG I-Ching has her work cut out for her, but still it's tight and already better than last year's results where she lost 0-4. We'll have some highlights for you, and stick around because game number 4 is coming up right after this.
Yours truly, Damian Sogren. I'm here whole weekend. I've been having a great time, and I'm glad you have been as well. All right. Special shout out and respect to all the beautiful people I've met this weekend. Let's continue to make it a good one. Keep supporting our athletes. We go into game number 4. It could be anybody's game. Who knows?
Time, please.
So as time is called, the players will come back to the table. Again, Miu Hirano leading 2-1. You could see the facial expressions of CHENG I-Ching in the corner with her coach. Jachi Jung of the United States. Just reminds me how important sport is for bringing the world together. Table tennis has got to be the most global sport on the globe itself. 226 national associations involved, all 226. So table tennis across the world. Friends on opposite sides of the planet working together. Miu Hirano with the serve. Kicking serve at the baseline of the table. That top spin with the side spin really helps that second bounce take off. And it's the subtlety with the racket head up a little bit when Miu Hirano comes in. Difficult to read. Very flexible wrist, very subtle contact. Can't get much better than this in the combination. Long push, take it deep out to the forehand and right back to the opposite corner. At this level of play, they're thinking in patterns, they're changing it up quite a bit, but trying to not only play in patterns, but constantly break their patterns so that it's unpredictable. This is the first strawberry receive we've seen from Miu Hirano in this match. It does not pay off. CHENG I-Ching not fooled. Talk about home court advantage while you're away, my goodness. Soft touch, excellent receive from Hirano. Now this is why the half-long serve exists. If you serve short and it's clear to the receiver that they can't attack, they're gonna have a much easier time keeping it short, as Hirano did right there. Half-long will get a little hesitation in the decision from Hirano. Set up an easier third ball for the server, CHENG I-Ching. Whoa! This is not the first time CHENG I-Ching's gotten a break, and Hirano has recovered. But hear the gasp in the crowd, a very active and involved crowd here. Watch this one more time. From in near the middle, covers. All the speed gone right near the net. Could try for a Fan Zhendong under the net clamp. CHENG I-Ching's there to clean up on the recovery shot. The movement right now from CHENG I-Ching is so impressive to me. She's covering these wide forehands, but not just getting there, bringing them back, countering, and finding a weak spot wide on the forehand. Watch this one more time. And because she's fooling Miu Hirano, Hirano's getting there just a little bit later. She's not able to get her feet planted and get the power she needs from the ground and the feet up all the way through to twist on that forehand. Long serve once again pays off. CHENG I-Ching has been bold and unafraid here in the service game. All around, this is a very determined CHENG I-Ching. Now with the new world ranking system coming into effect January of 2018, tournaments like this will be quite big. Getting a bronze medal here could really help world number 10 CHENG I-Ching climb in the rankings. Net for net, CHENG I-Ching. She's had a few big breaks now. Well, in the beginning of this match, it was Hirano who had more luck. I feel like at this point, CHENG I-Ching's had a few more breaks.
Play, please.
It's the third warning. This is where cards start to come into play and be a little bit more effective when people don't really, they make you ask play please too many times. Very clever improvisation there. Again, right in near the middle. Hirano looked like she wanted to turn for the forehand. Short stroke, punching with the backhand. It's a lot of time.
6-4.
And it pays off. You know, it's a risk. When the umpire tells you play please 3 times on your serve and you wait that long, I guess one hope is that you decide the specifics of your serve. And it's tough on CHENG I-Ching as well. The receiver breaks their rhythm. They have to wait that long to receive the serve. Keep the focus the whole time. Not too common that we see Miu Hirano overpowered by spin. I guess the first game against Matilda Ekholm, we saw that a lot. CHENG I-Ching really getting a lot of back into it, arching that back, using the legs to load it with spin. She moves so quickly. CHENG I-Ching sees the ball going out to the forehand side and is already there. That just adds a whole nother element of pressure to Miu Hirano to make a quality shot. Second towel break of the game, and look at this one more time. She's there. She's quickly moving. Not before the shot, but as soon as she senses the contact, she has a clear idea of where the ball's going. A little bit more central on the table here, changing it up. Good idea from Hirano. For me, this is a sign of maturity. We saw it from Ju Yuling earlier on in her semifinal. But this is something that you get from the legends. Vladimir Samsonov all over the table, mixing it up. But it's not just so simple as moving. This has to be practiced, because if Miu Hirano's not used to serving from here, she's also not going to be used to getting a third ball from this position. But it's been very effective the last 2 points. You know, CHENG I-Ching was getting too comfortable with the serve, the shovel serve from the backhand corner, and now she's got to reset, so the timeout here for CHENG I-Ching. I think this is a very wise call on the side. Jia Qi calling this timeout. says we need to secure this game. If you're down 1-3, it's going to be too tough. The question is receive game. Oh. I think she thought the cap was on tighter there. Shakes the bottle and liquid flying all around. Again, close friends. It's always interesting to see the relationship between coach and player. Not so many years between Jiaqi and CHENG I-Ching. I think just 4 years between them. Jiaqi with a bit more experience. That's why she's been hired to be the coach. That's why she's been working with the top player in Taiwan. I really like the body language, the way that Jiaqi follows as CHENG I-Ching's pacing and trying to take it all in. It's one thing to hear your coach, and it's another to make sure you put it into play. And the full minute was used. Jiaqi had 1 minute full of information to make sure. Now sometimes you'll see coaches giving just a simple phrase or a word and sending their player back to the table. There's just one thing that's missing. There's one sentence that will get the best performance out of the player. And sometimes it takes repetition. Sometimes it takes saying things a few different ways, or even, you know, advice for the third ball, advice for the serve and the receive for later on in the game. Let's see. Straight up, half-long serve with topspin, a little bit more to the center of the table. And CHENG I-Ching breaking the momentum, the comeback of Miu Hirano to get her closer to the finish line, but still, no one's safe. Soft shot and spinning. Nice change of pace from Miu Hirano. As aggressive and fast as Miu Hirano can be, this shows some mental maturity and experience to be able to change the pace, slow it down a little bit. CHENG I-Ching has shown us that she's able to counter some of those big shots. This is a surprise for me. Miu Hirano wins 2 points in a row, leaving CHENG I-Ching clueless when she serves from the middle of the table. And she goes back to the backhand corner to the shovel serve that CHENG I-Ching had shown to be so familiar with. Let's see where she serves from here. Okay, a little bit more central. There we go. 3 game points for CHENG I-Ching. Still, she rocks back to take it, but gets the point outright. Third towel break of the game, and sure enough, Miu Hirano will be there. She's one of the fastest players to get to the towel I've ever seen. As soon as she wins a game, she's in the corner. As soon as a multiple of 6 comes up on the scoreboard, total points, she's at the towel box. CHENG I-Ching with the serves, 2 game points. Not yet. What a brilliant shot. The backhand bending away. Side and topspin. Hirano saves another game point, 2 in a row. This is the part of the match where the plot twists. And we'll see. It's the pressure point where CHENG I-Ching needs to secure. Look how fast those reactions are from Hirano. This is someone who knows patterns and just really fires off. Doesn't have to think about the second shot, knows what to do after the first. Second serve here. And she takes it by a 2-point margin. It is tied up at 2 games apiece. CHENG I-Ching levels the playing field, 11-9, and will come into game 5 dead even. Pressure has built for the Hurricane, and we will see if the naps this afternoon and the focus that we see from CHENG I-Ching will pay off for her to get redemption against last year's champion, 17-year-old Miu Hirano of Japan. A tight match, a thriller, of course. We expect nothing less. This one could go the distance. Enjoy some highlights in a bit. Game 5 coming up right after that.
2017 Women's World Cup. Oh boy. As we proceed into game 5, both athletes are still alive. And I know we're having a good time. I see it on your smile. Thank you to all our sponsors again.
Time.
And as time is called, game number 5 will be on its way. Cheng I-Ching has to feel the pressure here. On both sides, of course, but it's a scare when you're ahead by that much. I mean, 10-7, and way ahead before that. The timeouts are gone. No lifelines left. From here on out, it will be up to the players with the coaches in the corners. They will not have a full minute in the middle of a game to go talk. What a save for Cheng I-Ching, a ball sitting that high with the power that Miu Hirano has from right at the back of the table. This is fighter pilot reaction time. She was still in the air for that, just full extension to keep the ball in play. That much power coming in, you don't need a lot of racket speed to bring it back quickly. This is Miu Hirano's style, this backhand, a little bit aside, but a whole lot of top and a wide angle here. Cheng I-Ching, just a bullet snap of the wrist there for that backhand. Dangerous. How many warnings is she gonna get? Whew.
0-3.
You can understand the frustration and why Miu Hirano really wants to be focused before the serve, and crystal clear. Cheng I-Ching's had a lot of solid answers here. Wide on the forehand side.
0-3.
Despair. Despair to the hair. Beautiful receive again, stepping in for that backhand over the middle of the table and playing it wide. Not a point dropped yet. From that timeout, there has been some serious momentum here. Gyro, Cheng I-Ching, the crowd says. This has really got to be tough. They're both away players here, but Hirano not getting a lot of love from the crowd. Strawberry off the top of the net. And a little bit of salvation here. The first point for Miu Hirano this game. You know, Miu Hirano's going to walk over to the ball, walk back to the table slowly. This is something that I think 2018 will see multiple balls being used in table tennis. Players will not be walking back. It's going to force players to think really quickly, get prepared for a quicker pace of play.
2-4.
Well, that honeypot of a spot at the back of the table in the middle has been turned around a little bit, defended by Miu Hirano. Think about how many times Cheng I-Ching has served long to the middle of the table and begged for a forehand out of Miu Hirano that has not come down. Again, the forehand, the more expensive, time-consuming stroke. Backhand much more efficient, why we see it so much in the fast pace of the women's game. But if you can hit it that hard with the backhand, there's no need to turn around. Especially because of the timing. It's earlier off the bounce. It just gives less time for Cheng I-Ching to prepare. 3 points in a row for Miu Hirano. There's that deep top and side spin serve, but the follow-up, even in slow motion, is so fast. The new ball brought into play here.
3-4.
When the ball cracks, they'll take out a new one and make sure they're happy with the bounce, familiar with it. Sometimes they'll wipe the sweat of their palms on the ball to remove that outer layer of chalk. Middle of the table, this was effective. Oh, she goes back just a little. Why, Hurricane, why?
5-3.
Well, we could have had an answer to that question if Hirano wins the point outright, but that back corner of the table, for me, is not the location for Miu Hirano to be serving from. It's just money ball, looking at the stats. When she's playing from the middle of the table, she's winning a lot of points. At least starting off the point that way, but now it's Cheng I-Ching with the serves. No, it's almost on the table. The crowd, this is a roller coaster of thrills here. Cheng I-Ching with so many breaks off the net. Hirano, not a lot of option here. But as Cheng I-Ching sliding out to the forehand side of the table, it almost comes back to haunt her. Leaving the front door open, a little bit of laughter there. An ironic smirk, chuckle. I don't know if that's a thing, but it is now. 3 points ahead, Cheng I-Ching with her second serve.
3-7.
And even the receive game, I will say that out of all the things, and there have been a lot of things that have improved from Cheng I-Ching, just in this tournament alone. You know, CHENG I-Ching hasn't had so many big results on the World Tour despite being world number 5 just a handful of months ago. But here she is playing some of the best table tennis I've ever seen. From her, anyway. She is the national collegiate champion of Taiwan earlier this year alongside Chen Jianan, who had to pull out of the Men's World Cup last week. Wasn't feeling well. CHENG I-Ching feeling fine.
8-4.
Top of the net now, second towel break of the game, and the body language of Miu Hirano quite different. Now, people always ask, Adam, what are these players like when you see them off the court? And these are two of the friendliest players. Miu Hirano was in quite good spirits despite having lost the match to Liu Shuan earlier. CHENG I-Ching actually was silent. And she's one of the most sociable players I know, but she couldn't talk for about a good 10, 15 minutes after the match.
8-5.
I think this is a player who's very focused and wants this really bad. Wanting it is half of the battle. How you come in, how focused, how prepared you are. Showing up ready with your A game. We'll see both of these players. I mean, of course, we've seen Hirano play some of the best table tennis the world has seen in 2017. But I think they're both out here quite focused and determined to clinch the bronze. Beautiful setup. The touch leaving it in near the net sends Hirano down below the table for that spinny forehand. Hirano making an excellent shot out of a very difficult place. Watch this one more time. Down way low. And to play that to the short side of the table, CHENG I-Ching, look how low the ball is when she plays that. Precision and laser-like focus. Back in the lead by 4. Top edge of the racket, and she's got 5 game points for a 3-2 lead. Remember, the last time they played in the Women's World Cup, it was a 4-0 victory for the 17-year-old in red. The second time it goes over CHENG I-Ching's head, but she gets it very well. I will stop making that comment soon enough. 5 game points for CHENG I-Ching on the receive.
Let 5-10.
Net and back edge of the table on a serve. Wow, that's a difficult shot. CHENG I-Ching with one leg out in front, playing it from right off the back edge of the table. Loads it with spin, and 11-5. This is the most dominant game we've seen since CHENG I-Ching won 11-5 in game 2, and it's right there on the scoreboard for you. From down 1-2 to up 3-2. CHENG I-Ching with some momentum the last 2 games and has really put a lot of pressure on the 17-year-old with all eyes around the world watching her. Fans in Japan and fans around the world. We will see CHENG I-Ching about to double her fan club if she can take this bronze medal. Game 6 will be coming up right after this. Enjoy the highlights, and we'll see you in a few seconds.
Wave to me, yeah! Oh boy, we are live. We're not playing no tricks as we go into game number 6.
Time, please.
And as time is called, the players will come back for what could
Cheng,
be
please.
the game to determine who takes the bronze medal. CHENG I-Ching 1 game away. She needs to win 11 points, winning by 2. And Miu Hirano has only one option to win this at the full length, the full extension in the deciding game number 7. But as these players know, they have to deal with the present 1 point at a time. This is game 6. Miu Hirano with the back against the ropes and the serve.
1-0.
Good use of the serve here to start it off. Scooting in a little bit towards the middle of the table. It's been paying off well.
0-2.
And again, subtle serve, shorter side of half long with some under inside spin. Doesn't have to be underspin because the ball goes into the net. Simply, it has to look like more topspin than there is. Very top of the net. That ball could dribble over, not missing by a lot. Big point here for Morale. That counter, the forehand side, we've seen some very confident forehand attacks from CHENG I-Ching off opening spin shots.
Play, please.
It takes two here. We still haven't seen CHENG I-Ching getting as low as she got yesterday. Oh, there's no chance for this one. Ball sits up a little bit. Hirano quick on top of the bounce to take it wide. Love that subtle serve from CHENG I-Ching. This is something for table tennis players around the world to practice. Stopping as close to the point of contact as possible, leaving very little clue for the receiver. That's why after motion can be so effective, because the follow through on the ball tells the player what spin is on it. And it does not come down. Hirano at the back of the table has to make so many shots and play the corners so wide, really testing the quads and the fast feet of CHENG I-Ching. A 4-1 lead right now for Miu Hirano. CHENG I-Ching, as strong as she is from behind the table, wants to make sure she keeps the real estate at the back of the table. She cannot afford to be evicted from that house right now. Sounded like it hit the hand there. It comes down on the table, still okay, but smart play. Hirano's gone corner to corner, but she sees that CHENG I-Ching's gonna get here to cover. Already starts moving, plays it just a little bit more to the center of the table. CHENG I-Ching overruns the ball just barely.
1-5.
Again, in a sport where details are so tiny, it's so important. It could just be the matter of a centimeter between a clean shot on the rubber versus hitting the hand holding it.
2-5.
Big point here after the first towel break. CHENG I-Ching with their second point of the game. We've seen bigger comebacks. Again, Hirano with an encouraging lead, but it's not safe. Spin to the middle, and as she moves to cover the forehand side, it leaves not a lot of wiggle room for Hirano, trying to play it wide. From a 4-1 lead to a 2-point game. Proportionally speaking, this feels like quite a difference. It's not that it was 3 points between them and now 2. It's that it was 4-1 and now it's 5-3. Clever placement, 2 to the forehand from CHENG I-Ching, controlling the table from the middle with that backhand off the bounce. You know, I've seen CHENG I-Ching quite a lot as she's made it up to world number 5. But as I mentioned before, on the world tour, she's had not some of the best results. She's had a pretty quiet year. But the determination we see from her in this match is something that I haven't seen from her in a long time. To the middle of the table, she's fired up, she's vocalizing the chose, and she plays it back, countering the heavy spin. Hirano sweating literally and figuratively right now. The mental game, the tactics are gonna have to change because CHENG I-Ching is not leaving a lot of flaws on the table. Despite a slow start in this game, she's confident, she's moving quickly, she's countering with precision on the placement. And it's tied up. 4 out of the last 5 points for CHENG I-Ching. Is she butter? Because she is on a roll. The comeback train does not stop, not yet. The big wheels keep on turning. And CHENG I-Ching spinning the ball, the point she's earning. Look at this. Miu Hirano fan club. Letters of support are going to be written. We'll see, it's not over. Still just 1 point between them. Now that to me says something about mental state. Between the point, slow shot with a little bit of side spin catching the edge of the racket. Hirano is clearly flustered. Heavy push to the middle. Cheng I-Ching keeps up her streak from down 4-1, up 7-5, second towel break of the game. Look at this push deep right at the tee in the middle of the table, the baseline. And it's subtle, but it's a good amount of rotation. A cho well earned. All right, some of the Miu Hirano supporters getting back in it here. Wow.
6-7.
This serve drifted a little bit longer than I thought would be successful for Miu Hirano, but because it's close enough to the back of the table, she gets a softer stroke, not a lot of backswing from Cheng I-Ching, and is able to play it confidently and wide. Again, we talk about precision of placement, jamming up the opponent. The laughter in the crowd, you've got 2,000 people cheering. Cheng I-Ching, Jayo. Then one guy says, Ganbatte, Hirano.
Let 6-7.
So Hirano with one big point before, the difference between 5-8 here and 6-7 with the second serve. Let's see what she does with the second serve. Slow spinny ball, but it's that bending backhand wide out to the forehand that keeps her in it. She's tied it up. This match is going to be a nail biter if it hasn't been enough already for you. Look at this, Cheng I-Ching just lunging out and racing for that wide forehand. Still can't get it back over the net. Rolling the ankles out there to stay loose, keeping the blood flowing. This is where adrenaline sometimes saves the muscles from tightening up. Wah-wah-wee-wah, Miu Hirano coming back 3 in a row for the Hurricane. Again, the only way she can win this match is in Game 7. She must survive this game, and she's edging towards it. Beautiful shot. As wide as they come, might have caught a little bit of the edge, but nonetheless, this is a big point for Cheng I-Ching. Interesting, tough to tell. The ball seemed to bounce pretty high, so maybe it was just right on the white of the line, having that different sound on the bounce. Often sound is an indicator for the contact, for the rubber and for the edge of the table. It's about the 5th warning I think I've heard from Miu Hirano. Oh, the slap shot comes back. As fast as that one comes in, it comes back even faster. Can it get any hotter than this? We're in Canada right now, and it's chilly outside, but in here it is a sauna right now. Look at the pace on these shots. A slap shot while she's in the air. Cheng I-Ching deserves every ounce of cho in that. Look at the face on Cheng I-Ching after winning this point. No questions about it, a 1-point lead right now, 2 points away from a bronze medal. And a bit of a break in the middle of the point, but the level is turned up so high. Hirano saves it, keeps it in play, and the apology there after the cho just goes to show you how much Cheng I-Ching wants this. Where's the net? Already happened earlier in the point. Cheng I-Ching with laser-like focus, determination. It's all over the face.
10-8.
It's the face of a champion. The question is, will the face be the champion of this match? Will she take the bronze medal? 2 bronze medal points. Revenge! Cheng I-Ching does it! She takes down Miu Hirano after losing 0-4 in the championship match last year in Philadelphia. What a performance from Cheng I-Ching, and the nap pays off. She came in well prepared, determined, and focused from the start to the very finish. Look at the scores on screen. Loses the first game by the narrowest of margins, falls down 1-2, and doesn't lose another game after it. Game 4 was the turning point, 11-9, and then 11-5, and right here you saw it. What a performance from Kaohsiung all the way down here to Markham, Canada. Cheng I-Ching of Chinese Taipei bringing back the bronze medal, and CHENG I-Ching is back. I'm excited to see her climb in the world rankings and excited to hear her interview right now live on court.
Congratulations to you. What was going through your mind during those last few moments of the game?
首先恭喜你，然后赢下这场比赛。然后在比赛最后阶段的时候，自己当时在想些什么？
我现在脑袋一片空白，不知道讲什么。想谢谢现场的观众很卖力的为我加油，这让我非常有动力，让我每一颗球都充满力量。谢谢。
No question, she's thanking the fans here. Could barely gather her thoughts. You get to hear the
My
translation.
brain is blank now, but I want to say thanks to all fans here. Their cheering makes me feel more powerful during the match.
Well, that was definitely a powerful matchup. Tell me, you've gotten the bronze prize. Congratulations again. What's next for you?
恭喜你拿下这场铜牌了。然后接下来有什么打算吗？
She can't get over
下次
this.
再进入决赛吧。
Oh.
Next time I want to enter the finals.
Amen, that's what I'm saying. Well, congratulations to you. And of course, your fans are all here. They love you. Round of applause one more time for a third place winner of the Women's World Cup 2017, CHENG I-Ching.
And you heard it right there from the bronze medalist who will stand on top of the podium later today. There's something about her face, but in that moment, there was no question. She could barely wake herself up and believe that it was real. Again, Miu Hirano is one of the most watched and the most improved player on the planet in the women's game in 2017. But CHENG I-Ching was able to get her revenge in the hottest form ever. So a tough match for Miu Hirano, but the fan club will still be strong around the world, and at only 17 years old, we know she has a bright future ahead. She played an incredible match, but the better of the two players today was CHENG I-Ching. So stick around, we've got one more match coming up in just a bit. It will be the final between the top two seeds, Liu Shiwen and Zhu Yuling, and here's a look at how they got there once again. The quarterfinals, Zhu Yuling over Li Jie, the chopper from Netherlands. An incredible match to go back and rewatch later when the program ends. 4-1 and then 4-0 over the bronze medalist, CHENG I-Ching. And you saw how well she can play, so you know that Zhu Yuling is on a whole different level to win that match 4-0. And the same with Liu Shiwen. Liu Shiwen has never lost a match at the Women's World Cup, not since 2009, and she hasn't dropped a game yet in this tournament here in Markham, Canada. So it should be a thriller, a lot of anticipation, but it's tough to say when teammates play each other from the Chinese national team. Even if one looks to be in better form, you really never know, so the suspense is high. And it's tough to say. I've watched a lot of table tennis myself in the last several years following these players around the world. But there's no telling who it's going to be. Zhu Yuling, her first Women's World Cup final, or Liu Shiwen with her fifth. Again, hasn't lost a match yet. Stay right here to watch. You're watching the Uncle Pop